Hello students, I am Monica Soral from MA International School, Nayagaon. Today we will be doing the chapter from Moments, the 5th chapter, The Happy Prince. Yes, The Happy Prince. Now what is this story about? This is a story about the prince who was very happy when he was in the kingdom, inside the kingdom when he was alive. That time he was very happy because he was not knowing anything about what is happening outside his kingdom, like in the kingdom where outside his palace actually. He was in the palace, he always remained there and he thought that everything is going well. But he never went out and saw that what is happening with the people outside in the kingdom. So here we will read the story about that. High above the city on a tall column stood the statue of the Happy Prince. Now what had happened, actually the Happy Prince, he died, and then the people, they loved their prince, so they made his statue. So they are talking about that. He was gilded all over with thin leaves of fine gold for eyes. He had 2 bright sapphires and a large red ruby glowed on his sword hilt. Now see, what is this? Everywhere, like he was, the statue was made of gold actually. The gold plating was done on it, and the eyes, instead of eyes, that they had put ruby, sapphires, all the precious stones they had put on the statue, because the people of that kingdom, they loved their prince very much. That is why they made such a beautiful statue of his. Now on one night there flew over the city a little swallow. His friends had gone away to Egypt 6 weeks before, but he had stayed behind. Then he decided to go to Egypt too. All day long he flew. At night he arrived at the city. Where shall I put up? He said. I hope the town has made preparation. Then he saw the statue on the tall column. Now this swallow was a bird. It was flying, it was migrating and it was flying, and what had happened, it missed his friends and he was left alone. So what the swallow thought, that I will stay for a while at the night and then morning I will fly away. Now it was finding the place where to settle down. So what it saw a statue of this prince, and what had happened over there. I will put up there, he cried. It is a fine position with plenty of fresh air. So he alighted just between the feet of the Happy Prince. Now what it decided, that it decided to stay at the feet of this Happy Prince. See, this was the statue, the beautiful statue, and here the swallow, the bird. Now it came and it settled down near its feet of the prince, statue of the prince. I have a golden bedroom, he said softly to himself as he looked around. Now what it thought, see, it's such a beautiful thing to happen. I have got a golden bedroom, because that statue was made of gold. So the bird was thinking in his mind that such a beautiful bedroom I got. It's a golden bedroom. Now next what happened? Now swallow found the golden bedroom. Now what it said, see, prepare to go to sleep. But just as he was putting his head under his wing, a large drop of water fell on him. What a curious thing, he cried. There is not a single cloud in the sky. The stars are quite clear and bright, and yet it is raining. Now what had happened? जैसे ही swallow सोने के लिए तैयार हुई, अचानक से उसके ऊपर एक पानी की बूंद आई. Now what it thought, that बारिश के जैसा मौसम तो हो नहीं रहा है, तो बारिश कहाँ से आ रही है? So it just saw here and there that what happened, from where this water came. Now then another drop fell. What is the use of a statue if it cannot keep the rain off? He said, I must look for a good chimney pot, and he determined to fly away. But before he had opened his wings, a third drop fell and looked up and saw. Oh, what did he see? Now see what happened. What the swallow thought, कि मुझे यहाँ रह के कोई मतलब ही नहीं है, कि मैं अगर बारिश में गीली हो जाऊँगी तो क्या मतलब है, तो मैं कोई भी एक चिमनी, I will search for that and there I will lie down instead of flying over here in this open space. So as soon as it was flying, अचानक से थर्ड बूंद उसके ऊपर आके गिरी, तो उससे जैसे ही ऊपर देखा ना, what it saw, see, the eyes of the Happy Prince were filled with tears, and tears were running down his golden cheeks. His face was so beautiful in the moonlight that the little swallow was filled with pity. Now what it saw, the prince, the statue of the prince, it saw that the water was coming out from his eyes. उसकी आँखों में से पानी टपक रहा था. जैसे ही उसने वो मूनलाइट में उसकी स्टैचू देखी, तो वो स्टैचू बिल्कुल ऐसा लगा कि इट वॉज सो सैड. सो स्वॉलो को बहुत बुरा लगा कि ये क्या हो रहा है, प्रिंस की स्टैचू में रो रहा है ये, क्यों, what happened? Who are you? He said. I am the Happy Prince. Why are you weeping then? Asked the swallow. You have quite drenched me. अब swallow ने पूछा कि आप कौन हो? तो इट सेड द स्टैचू सेड दैट आई एम हैप्पी प्रिंस। तो हैप्पी प्रिंस सुन के तो फिर व्हाई आर यू क्राइंग, शी आस्क्ड। तो उन्होंने बोला कि मुझे तो तुमने पूरा गीला कर दिया। सोलो ने बोला कि आप रो क्यों रहे हो। व्हेन आई वाज अलाइव एंड आई हैड अ ह्यूमन हार्ट, आंसर्ड द स्टैचू, आई डिड नॉट नो व्हाट टीयर्स वर, फॉर आई लिव्ड इन द पैलेस वेयर sorrow is not allowed to enter. My courtiers called me the happy prince, and happy indeed I was. So I lived and so I died. And now that I am dead, they have set me up here so high that I can see the ugliness and all the misery of my city. And though my heart is made of lead, yet I cannot choose but weep. Now उसने क्या कहानी बताई कि जब मैं पैलेस के अंदर रहता था तब मुझे सब लोग बहुत हैप्पी प्रिंस बोलते थे, क्योंकि वाकई में मैं बहुत खुश था। बट अब जब मैं मर गया हूँ, मैं डेड, आई एम डेड, मैं आके जब मुझे एकदम हाई पोजीशन पे उन्होंने स्टैचू बना दी मुझे, तो यहाँ से मुझे मेरी किंगडम की अगलीनेस दिख रही है कि हाउ अगली इट इज़, लोग बाग कितने सफ़र कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर, ये मुझे अब दिख रहा है। बट व्हेन आई वाज इन द पैलेस आई कुडंट सी दिस थिंग। तो ये मुझे बहुत दुखी कर रहा है, मेरे हार्ट को बहुत ज़्यादा दुखी कर रहा है। नाउ व्हाट इज़ ही नॉट सॉलिड गोल्ड, said the swallow to himself. He was too polite to make any personal remarks. Far away, continued the statue in a low musical voice, far away in a little street there is a poor house. One of the windows is open, and through it I can see a woman seated at a table. Her face is thin and worn, and she has coarse red hands all pricked by the needle, for she is a seamstress. She is embroidering flowers on a satin gown for the loveliest of the queen's maid to honor to wear at the next court ball. In a bed in the corner of the room, her little boy is lying ill. He has a fever and is asking his mother to give him oranges. His mother has nothing to give him but water, so he is crying, "Swallow, swallow, little swallow, will you not bring her the ruby out of my sword hilt? My feet are fastened to this pedestal and I cannot move." Now see what he told. Now he was very sad, prince ना। तो उसने स्वॉलो को क्या बोला कि मुझे यहाँ से एक लेडी दिख रही है जो बहुत ज़्यादा परेशान है, दुखी है, और उसकी उंगलियाँ हैं जो सिलाई कर करके उसकी उंगलियों में पूरा मतलब पूरी रफ़ हो गई हैं और बेचारी बहुत परेशान है। उसका बेटा बहुत ज़्यादा बीमार है, वो ऑरेंजेस डिमांड कर रहा है, बट वो उठ भी नहीं रही है, उस गाउन सिल रही है रानी का, क्वींस का, और उनको वो जस्ट बहुत जल्दी चाहिए वो उनको, बिकॉज फॉर द डांस दे आर प्रिपेयरिंग इट। तो आप जाओ और मेरी जो स्वॉर्ड में जो रूबी लग रहा है वो उसको दे के आओ, ताकि वो अपने बच्चे के लिए कुछ तो खरीद सके। शी इज़ नॉट हैविंग द मनी टू बाय ऑरेंजेस फॉर हिम एंड ही इज़ वेरी इल। तो उसने क्या रिक्वेस्ट करी स्वॉलो को कि प्लीज़ आप ये मेरे स्वॉर्ड में से रूबी लेके और उस लेडी को दे के आओ। सो what he said that I am tied up over here, I am a statue and I can't move, so you can please help me.